Welcome, future Spartans. I am Dr. Brett Carter, and I'm the Associate Vice Chancellor and Dean of Students here at UNCG. My job gives me the opportunity to work with our student body every single day, and I can tell you, I am consistently inspired by them. Spartans are driven, Spartans are leaders, and Spartans generally care about each other. Now, before I hand you off to tonight's panel, I want to touch base on an important point that I just talked about, and that is creating a culture of care. You see, here at UNCG, our faculty and staff are committed to making sure you have the right tools and resources to help you be successful and able to achieve your academic goals. Beyond all this, the great thing about being a part of such a close-knit campus community is that it means you get the opportunity to move past superficial and drive right to building relationships and having fun. So there's a lot going on here at UNC Greensboro, and I am so glad that you're here today with us. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us today. There we go. I thought we had a little bit of audio issues. There we go. So welcome everyone to our live stream. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. We are talking with our dining services and also our housing and residence life office. Thank you all for being here, and I hope that you do text us your questions because we have got a number that you can text, and it is on the bottom of your screen. So if you have any questions about housing and residence life or our dining services, you are welcome to text us so that way we can answer any of your questions that you may have. Alrighty, let's go ahead and have our panelists introduce themselves. We are joined by a wonderful team of people, so all of our panelists can go ahead and introduce themselves. Let's start with Danny. Very nice. Thank you so much, Danny. All right, let's go to Chris. Alrighty, thank you. And Emily. Thank you so much. And we are joined by a couple of students as well. Let's hear from Megan. Megan, you've done this a lot, haven't you? Very nice. Thank you, Megan. And Deja, you've also done this a whole bunch too, haven't you? Fantastic. Alrighty, friends. Well, it is a pleasure for everyone to be here with us today. I am so glad that you could be here so that way all of our potential students, all of our new Spartans can learn all about what UNCG has to offer. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and, you know what? Y'all, I just realized something very silly. The internet could not hear what you were saying. So I have fixed the problem. Luckily, I knew what the problem was, but I'm afraid that I'm going to have to ask all of our panelists to introduce themselves again. I am so sorry to have to do that. You know, technology is weird, isn't it, y'all? So let's have Danny introduce yourself one more time. I forgot to click a button, Danny. I'm really sorry.
Absolutely not. Absolutely great, Trey. Hi, I'm Danny Dawkins. I'm the resident district manager here for Spartan Dining Services. We're here to provide all the great food for you and look forward to having you here on campus.
Very nice. Thank you. I can see everyone's audio bars are moving now, so I think I fixed the problem effectively. But Chris, let's hear what you got to say.
Hi, everybody. Chris Gregory, Assistant Director for Residence Life, and we look forward to having you on campus in the fall.
Thank you so much. And Emily, what you got?
Emily Ainsworth. I'm the Assistant Director for Occupancy Management, and I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And Megan.
Hi guys, I am Megan, and I'm a current student and a Spartan guide here. I'm a junior, and I'm a finance major with a music performance minor, and I'm from Cary, North Carolina, so right outside of the Raleigh area.
Wonderful. Thank you. Alrighty. And Deja.
Hi everyone, my name is Deja Kenyon. I'm a senior communication studies major from Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm also a Spartan guide.
Alrighty, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Let us go ahead and get into it with our presentations. I believe, Danny, you've got something for us. Is that right?
Absolutely. Trey, let me look forward to showing you this. Well, after, as I said, everyone, I'm with Dining Services, and we're here to provide all these great meals that you're going to be having here on campus. We're excited to have you here. Really enjoy it when we have new students come in. We have some great new ideas and some great new palettes to work with our students. Good, starting off anything with Dining Services, I guess the first and foremost, is about safety with everything that's going on right now, and safety is our top priority. We have everything from our daily wellness checks with our hourly staff. So they come in, the first thing in the door, they're the guests that are the staff that's going to be taking care of all those great meals. So we want to make sure they're coming in and their wellness is 100%. All of our staff wear masks and gloves throughout the process. We have social distancing for not only our guests, but we also have social distancing for our staff as well. We clean and sanitize all of our stations. We have traffic management with our signage. We have a contactless checkout for when you come into your location. You'll get to see Ms. Brenda. You'll really love Ms. Brenda. She's amazing. Yeah, so we've really gone through and looked at every opportunity to provide the safe environment based on the current guidelines from the CDC as well as Guilford County. In addition, we also have a third-party cleaning and sanitizing company that comes in every single day. Once again, just to take those extra steps to make sure that all of our locations are completely safe and ready for you to come and enjoy every one of your meals. So it is our top priority. As you come in, you're going to have some decisions to make as far as your meal plans are concerned. So our meal plans are really broken up into like 3 different categories. One is sort of traditional meals per week, as for like an unlimited or 15 meals per week, or Charlie's 10 with 10. And that's the number of meals per week that you would get. Another type of meal is a little bit more flexible, is your block meals, which gives you a number of meals for the entire semester. These plans tend to have a lot more declining balance. These are really for give you a lot of flexibility. But if you're coming on campus and you're really not too sure about your dining habits yet, I highly recommend it, the Spartan Unlimited or the Aspire 15. And then finally, we have an all declining balance. So we have some students that really just know what they're looking for, and they really have a firm grasp of wanting to be able to eat in a lot of the retail locations. So that gives you an opportunity for that complete flexibility. Our dining programs that are on campus, we have on-campus partners and we have off-campus partners. You'll be excited to know we have a full Chick-fil-A location on campus, as well as a Bojangles and a Salsaritas, to name just a few of our national brands, including Taco Bell. We also have some internal concepts that are sure to delight with building your pizza the way you want it, great salads. And for those times when you just need something that at your residence hall, or you just need some chapstick, we have 2 convenience stores on campus, one in the Elliott University Center and one over in Moran Commons. All of these are really built upon just trying to have a complete destination when you're on campus. Anything you could want or need is right here on campus. Now, we also, as I mentioned, we have third-party flex partners. And that includes Bestway. Bestway is right across the street. You can use your flex there, and it's a full grocery store. So just like you would go anywhere else, it has a meat department, it's got a dairy department, it's got produce. Anything you'd want to have your room or your apartment, you can get. And then on top of that, you also have Home Slice, Happy Bowl, and several others on that are offsite. All of this is the flexibility of using your Flex card. Now, this Flex card is your Spartan card, is your MasterCard to all of those dining opportunities that are on campus. And we do a lot of specials throughout the year, as you'll see from the left and the right of the screen. The boneless wing bar, a poke bar, which is absolutely fantastic, some seasonal foods. So we really try to make sure that your dining experience is not just the same thing when you come in every day. It's like, wow, there's always something different, which is extremely important. Dining services, as we've always said, dining services are your services. So we really look for your feedback, as every year we come back in and we reevaluate our menus and make sure that we're offering everything that our student population looking for that year. So as I said, we really look forward to having you come and visit in our dining locations, and excited to have you potentially be part of our Spartans.
Thank you so much, Danny, for that. It's always nice to know that nobody is ever going to go hungry at UNCG. And I actually just learned something. I didn't know that we had a Bojangles Express in the Elliott Center. That's pretty nice. I guess it's pretty convenient that the admissions office is located right across the street from the Bojangles on campus. Maybe not good for my family history of heart disease, but it's okay. Alrighty, so let's hear now from our Housing and Residence Life office. Chris, what you got for us?
I'm going to take just a minute to show you all the websites. I'd highly encourage you to check this out. We've got a great assistant director of marketing communications that works really hard to keep the website up to date with as much information as possible. It's HRL, which stands for Housing and Residence Life.uncg.edu. Some main stories will kind of stream across the middle section here. But across the navigation bar, you'll see a lot of different information. So you're kind of in the do your research phase. Check out different things about living on campus. A lot of students would like to see, what the residence halls look like. And I know that's a little bit of a challenge right now. So we've tried to put as much online as we can. Traditional residence halls, so that's the traditional double rooms that most first-year students will stay in, are listed here. And then further down the website, you have suites and apartments, which may or may not be available to you in your first year, depending on your class status. But if you just click on one, you'll see, I'll use Cone Hall as an example. Oops, sorry, let me get back to that. You'll see some pictures of Cone. You'll see pictures of the exterior. You can flip through if you want to see what traditional rooms look like once they're decorated. There's lots of different pictures that you can see there. There's also a number of facts down at the bottom for each residence hall, information about any living learning programs that may be there, information about the building specifically. And then you can look for floor plans and room measurements. So whatever you may need to know about the residence halls, you'll find right online. So as you're looking at what may be the best residence hall for you, you can check it out. But also as you're ready to transition to campus and you want to know what size are the beds, or if I want to bring curtains for the room, what size is the window, all of that information can be found right online. Some other information you may want to look at, there's a location of the residence halls on campus. So depending on your major, if you're a performance arts major, a lot of your classes will be in the visual and performance arts building. So you probably want to stay in one of the high rises, which is a little bit closer, and you can check that out. If you want to see the cost, which is very important to you or possibly to your parents, you can check that out as well. Updated rates for the fall will probably hit the website in January. You'll see current rates and they really don't change too much. And I encourage you also to read the housing contract to make sure you understand, what you're signing. And a lot of good information is found within there. Some of the other things you can do when you're ready to apply, you can do it right here from Take Action. When you want to know about transitioning to campus, what the move-in process looks like, how to find your roommate, all of that information is available online. So I would really encourage you to take a few minutes, get familiar with our website. And if you can't find something you're looking for there, just call our office or shoot an email to HRL, again, Housing and Residence Life @uncg.edu, and we'd be happy to answer your questions. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Chris. We are always happy to know that students have a place to live, students have a place to eat, students are never going to go hungry here at UNCG. I can tell you from my own personal experience, having lived in on-campus housing for 3 years of my time as a student at UNCG, I never doubted the abilities of the Housing and Residence Life staff. I definitely always had a very comfortable, nice place to live. 2 of my years were spent in the residential colleges, and then another one was in the on-campus apartments over in Spartan Village. They were pretty great. Megan and Deja, do y'all have any experiences living on campus that you would want to share with us?
So yes, I have actually lived on campus all 3 years that I've been here, and I really enjoyed on-campus living. I think one of the things that's really beneficial for students when they live on campus rather than off campus is that everything is very at your fingertips. You don't have to get a parking pass. You don't have to have a 25-minute walk. Everything is right there, and it's really convenient for students. And I've just really enjoyed everything. One of the things is that when I was on tour, a parent asked, I saw the website, but how really accurate are they? And I can personally say they're very accurate to how they look and how and all the different amenities. So definitely the housing website is really great. I definitely advertise that whenever I go on tour, because those are really accurate and show really how our residence halls are.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Deja, how about yourself? Any experiences you would like to share?
Yeah, so for 2 years, I was a resident advisor. And then, of course, my first year, I lived in the Honors College in South Spencer. So I've had the experience of being a resident and then also being a resident advisor. And I can say, just like Megan, it's pretty accurate. I love the fact that we have living learning communities because you definitely get to build the community within your residence hall and not have to find people outside of the residence hall, especially coming in as a freshman student. So on both sides, I've been very pleased with housing residence life. And if you're looking for a job on campus, definitely apply to be a RA.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Alrighty, it looks like we do have a question here from one of our viewers online. How big are the rooms in terms of square footage? So either Chris or Emily, y'all are free to answer that one, however is accurate.
So that's a great question, and one that I will again refer you to the website simply because we have 26 different residence halls on campus. For some of the residence halls, like the high rises, the rooms are pretty much the same size, and you can find that information online. But when you start to look at our quad area, there's 27 different room configurations within the quad. I may be a few more. Emily's smiling at me there. So it really is going to depend on which exact room you get in. Now, for most first-year halls, they're relatively similar in size. There may be a little bit of a difference. Certain halls have closets, other ones have wardrobes in the room, so there's small differences like that. But there is a lot of variance between the halls, so I would encourage you to look online. The great thing, and I think Megan pointed this out, is all of the pictures you will see online are resident rooms. They're not staged. We didn't create those rooms. Those are rooms of students who are proud of their room, so they enter a program called the Best Dressed Room Contest, and we take pictures and highlight it. So all across campus, we actually only have one room that's held offline as a tour room. Everything you're going to see online is actual student rooms. So all of that can be recreated if that's what you want to do.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Emily, anything else you might feel like adding?
I think Chris covered it all, but yeah, I mean, the rooms for freshmen are pretty much all the same. And I would just echo also some of the traditional halls have sinks in them. So also look at that on the website.
Very good to know. Thank you all so much. Alrighty, we do have another question here from our viewers online. I'm interested in living in the Strong Residential College. What room, or rather, what residence hall is Strong in?
I can take that one. Strong Residence Hall, or the Strong Residential College, is in Guilford Hall.
Very nice. Speaking of residential colleges, just because I know a little bit about them, we do have 3 of those residential colleges. We've got Strong, of course. That one is focused mainly on sustainability. And then we've also got Ashby, the one that I was in. I think it's the best, but that's just my own bias. And Ashby is focused on something called multiliteracies, which just means being really good in a variety of different subjects. And then we've also got the Grogan Residential College, and that is focusing on the professional aspects of school and life. So a lot of business majors, a lot of education majors, nursing majors, music majors, stuff like that as well. Alrighty, one question here. A student is wondering if they are required to have a meal plan if they live on campus. I think that would probably be good to go to Danny.
Yes, you are required to have a meal plan that is on campus, depending on your what year you're in and actually what location you're on. You would that's what meal plan you would fall under. There are some apartments, whereas there's a meal plan that's assigned, but you're able to opt out of the meal plan, and a lot of the apartments locations.
Good to know. I think a good follow-up question to that is, if you do live off campus, can you still have a meal plan?
Absolutely, and it's great and convenient to be able to have that on campus because it allows for you to be able to not worry about having cash or being able to the social aspect of dining services, especially if you're going into the our resident dining program up in Mountain View. A lot of your friends are going to want to go, so it's better to pay as a meal plan than pay door rate.
Very nice. Thank you all so much for that really helpful information. One question that we've got here for either Megan and Deja, either one of y'all can answer this if you want to. What exactly is Flex? I know Danny mentioned that earlier, but anyone who wants to take it, what is Flex? Can you help me understand that?
You want to go, Megan?
Either way, the way I think of Flex is like a debit card. So you're going to get an X amount of money on your Spartan ID, and that's the amount of money you're going to get for your meal plan that semester. So it's just like a little debit card that you use. And that's just kind of how I explain it. How do you explain it, Deja?
Yeah, one of the things I would add on to that is that Flex can roll over until you graduate, which is really cool because you don't run out of it for the semester. And anytime, like you said, you can reload it if you need more. So I know there was times freshman year where I was like, Mom, I think I need some more Flex. Can you ask so-and-so or can you give me some? But yeah, you can definitely reload it and it'll keep going, like I said, up until you graduate.
Good to know. It's always nice to know that your Flex is going to roll over too, because I had some at the end of my freshman year that somehow miraculously wound up in my account my sophomore year. I don't know how that happened because Bojangles is my friend. All right, we do have another question here from our viewers online. Can you choose the person that you want to live with in your residence hall?
So I can take that one. And I'll go ahead and explain a little bit more about the housing application. It's not on our website yet, information about fall 2021. Probably about in January, you'll start to see that on our housing website. It'll go live in mid-February, the freshman application. On the application, it'll walk you through a bunch of steps. Should take about 5-10 minutes. Especially if you know what you're looking for to put on the application. But you'll start by adding a building preference, a special interest community. So if you're interested in one of those special interest communities, you can mark on your housing application you're interested. Then you'll pick a roommate. And we kind of do roommates two different ways. Either you can answer a series of questions that we'll use to match you with a student with your similar preferences, or you can actually find someone that you want to live with. So if me and Megan wanted to live with each other, I would create a roommate group preference and Megan would accept that roommate group preference. And we'd have what we call a mutual roommate group preference. And that will be used to assign you together into a residence hall.
Good to know. It's nice to know that you can live with someone that you know, but I will just maybe warn you a little bit. You don't know someone until you live with them, so choose wisely. Any advice, Megan and Deja, that you want to give for choosing a roommate? I don't know if y'all had randoms or if you had someone that you knew.
Yeah, so my first year, I roomed with my best friend and actually worked out really well, but that's because we are pretty similar when it comes to the way we live. So like Trey said, just choose wisely, make sure that you take that questionnaire to make sure that you and your roommate are basically agreeing on certain things that are going to go on in that room.
Very nice. What you got, Megan?
So I feel like I've done housing, like roommates in so many different ways. So my first year, I actually didn't know anyone coming into UNCG that I wanted to room with. So I got into the Facebook page that we have for like finding a roommate. And so I actually found my roommate that way and it worked out pretty well. We weren't like best friends, but we really, we had very similar living habits. So it really worked out well. But she ended up not coming back from the second year. So I actually bought out my other half of the room in a freshman like traditional residence hall, and that actually worked out pretty well because I like to have my own space, and so it really worked out. But for this year, my junior, I am living in the apartments and I'm actually rooming with another Spartan guide, and we actually work out really well since we have similar schedules and similar jobs. So I've done housing in many different ways.
That's very exciting. I do know that getting a random roommate can be scary at first. Any advice I would ask maybe from the grown-ups in the room? Any advice on choosing someone to live with if you get a potential random person to live with? What kind of like conflicts would you anticipate running into?
I think some of the more common things we see are, maybe you have different times that you get up in the morning or go to bed at night. Maybe you like to keep the temperature of the room a little bit different. Usually the conflict comes from not talking about these things early on. So that's what the hall staff can really help with. The resident advisors or the professional staff that work in the halls can really help you work through some of that kind of thing. All students that come in, there's a roommate agreement that we send you electronically to work on with your roommate once you get to UNCG, and you can revise that as many times as possible. And we often see, people get here, they become fast friends, they do the roommate agreement with very little detail, very little expectations. And then about 2 weeks later, they'll start to say, well, I know I said people could come over anytime. I really didn't mean, after 10, or I know I said we'd share everything. I didn't mean, you could eat all my chips. So things like that tend to happen. And then people kind of express what they need a little bit differently and work through that. But having done this work a long time, I can tell you, as long as you're upfront and communicate what you need and what you're willing to maybe give up a little bit to have a good relationship with your roommate, most things can be worked out. So I've seen students that come and live with their best friend and things go great. I've seen students that come and live with their best friend and maybe that wasn't the best choice. So I really would encourage you to live with somebody that has similar habits and expectations over somebody that you're particularly close with. You'd be amazed that if you get up an hour before your roommate every day, how often that's going to bother them, so really try to find somebody that's compatible, that maybe has a similar schedule, or is at least willing to compromise where they need to. But our staff are available to help with that. And I would say 95% of people go through the year with the same roommate. We do have folks that change rooms, obviously, and that's an option as well. If it's like, we also get students that come and say, I really like my roommate. We're just not compatible as, living together. So we want to swap. And that works as well. So there's lots of options to make sure you have a good on-campus experience.
Very nice. I think moral of the story is there, respect your roommate's chips. That's all you got to know. Alrighty, we've got another follow-up from the same student who was asking the question earlier. Can you live with an upper-class student in an apartment-style residence hall? And I'm assuming this person is probably going to be a first-year student.
I'll take that question. We do not allow our freshmen to live in apartments, only traditional style housing. Depending on application numbers, usually if an upperclassman wants to live with a freshman, we put them together in a traditional hall. So we'll work it out if you want to live with an upperclassman, but it'll most likely be in a traditional double. Good
to know. Thank you. All right, we've got a really important question here from a parent, and it's for Danny in dining. The parent's student has quite severe food allergies. So, Danny, could you tell us how food allergies are handled here in our dining hall?
Great, important question. So, thank you for asking it. So, at the very onset of any student that comes in that has any dietary restrictions, the first thing that we ask for the student is to spend some time with our executive chef as well as our registered dietitian. And this is to help craft a dining experience in all of our locations, not just a resident program and a retail program, but all over campus, so they have a complete culinary experience. So we have several different programs that we have on campus. One specifically is called G8. It's avoiding the 8 major allergens. So this is actually a space that I go to on a very regular basis when it's open. And it's just great food. And you can go into that location and know that those 8 major allergens have been avoided. If you have some specific dietary restrictions, as I said, we can accommodate just about any kind of dietary restriction. It's just working with our chef and our dietitian. Even if we have to make customized meals, we make customized meals.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I know everyone's dietary needs are a little bit different, and we want to make sure that everyone is eating because that's an important part of life. So thank you, Danny, for making sure that everyone is being well fed here. It's always really nice to know that you're not going to go hungry. I know I've said that about 1,000 times, but it is the truth. Alrighty, important question for housing. I am an early college student who will be coming into UNCG with an associate in arts degree. Good job, early college student. Does that mean that I am eligible for upper class residence halls, or do I still have to stay in a freshman hall?
So we do require it depends on how you're admitted, is how I tell students. If you're admitted as a new first-time student, undergraduate student, then you have to live in the traditional double halls. If you come in as a transfer, because if you have those early college classes after you graduated high school, I think you can come in as a transfer. If you come in as a transfer, then you could live in the apartments. Does that make sense?
It definitely does. Thank you so much, Emily. And I can follow up a little bit with the different ways that you can be admitted. So if you are coming in from an early college and you are coming in with an associate's degree, you could choose to go the first year student admission route, or you can choose to go through the transfer student admission route. It's up to you, and it just depends on what experience you want. So you could want the full 4-year, first year to senior year aspect and life of college, or you could go the transfer route and take the classes that you need to finish your degree, and you can get in and get out in the right amount of time. So it's just up to you. It depends on what route you want to go, and that's why we have admissions counselors here to help you figure out those different options and to help you weigh those different possibilities, so that way you can know what is right for you. Alrighty, we've got another question here from a student. If I'm starting in January, is the housing application available now? And is there something special I need to do if I have a service animal with me?
So the application is live for spring 2021 right now. If you apply between now and November 15th, there is a $200 prepayment, and that'll be applied to your spring 2021 bill. If you want to not have to pay the $200 prepayment, you can wait and pay it and apply after November 15th, but you won't be assigned till January. Again, as Chris showed you our housing website, right now all of the dates you'll see on there are for spring 2021. So I would encourage you to go on, look at the deadlines, figure out which process would be best for you. Right now we're doing spring assignments where you apply and you'll be manually assigned. Yeah.
Thank you, Emily. And how about if a student is coming in with a service animal?
On the question of the service animal, so it's important to note that if it's a service animal, there's nothing that you're required to do. I would encourage you to, we have a form on our website that says unique housing situations. I would encourage you to fill that out, though you're not required, as it will help us in getting you the best location and give us some information that we can communicate with you and make sure that you have a location on campus to meet your need. Again, that's for a service animal. A lot of times students say service animal when they're actually talking about an emotional support animal. Emotional support animals do have to be approved. They have to be approved by a different office at UNCG than ours. And then we work through that way. So all of that information can be found online. But if you have any questions, I would encourage you to email us directly and we'll make sure you get the information you need.
Good to know. Yeah, it is definitely really important to make the distinction between service animal and an emotional support animal. There are different pathways that you have to go through, so just make sure that you're going through the right pathway. Alrighty, so we do have a question now for dining. Is there a way that I can change my meal plan mid-semester, and what happens if I have a meal plan that runs out of meals?
It's a great question. So a couple of things. At the beginning of the school year, once you have your meal plan, there'll be a small period of time that you'll have an opportunity to change and adjust your meal plan. But you will not, that's not a finite, that's a finite time throughout the course of the semester. The recommendation is go in, experience all the dining programs, make sure that you are meeting those needs at the very beginning, and then you'll have an opportunity to make that change. As far as adding on to it, you can add on to, you can also add flex as far as your meal plans, or you'd be adding on a potential commuter meal plan as an attachment to your previous meal plan, but you can add meal plans and declining balance to your plans.
Thank you very much. Alrighty. I think we actually had a couple of people wondering that question because I'm looking over here at my list of questions and about 3 of them just disappeared. So I think that probably answered quite a few people's queries. Alrighty, a transfer student is applying to UNCG. Good job. We love our transfer students because this is actually Transfer Student Week. So go ahead and come on in. But a transfer student is wondering if there are any housing options available for them.
Are you talking about for spring or for fall 2021?
They don't say. Let's cover our bases and start with spring and then go to fall.
So spring is the same as I said earlier. The application's live now. For fall 2021, the application will go live probably around the same time the freshman application goes live for our transfer students. All of our upperclassmen students will actually log in and select their housing. Usually that's a later date. Again, all of the fall 2021 dates haven't been officially set yet. So as soon as they're decided upon, they'll be posted on our website. I'm hoping by January we'll have all those dates set and it'll be on the website. And there's always videos on what the application will look like and what the self-assignment process looks like for transfer students. And it's usually in March. Again, with the semester being adjusted, I think our dates are going to change a little bit from the past. So just in January, check out when those dates are.
Good to know. And how about for the fall? Is there anything different? Oh, wait, I think you just explained that, didn't you?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm looking at my questions. I'm pushing buttons over here. Alrighty, we do have a parent who is watching who actually has twin students who are both going to be coming to UNCG. Good job, twins. We've got, or they are wondering if we allow both siblings who are of opposite sex to live together in a residence hall. And I guess it maybe depends on the residence hall, or maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
No, all of our housing on campus is based on the gender in the system. So the gender you provide the university, and we pair students based on gender. So they can live in the same hall, possibly even the same floor if they get it, but not in the same room.
Gotcha. Good to know. Thank you. Let's see. What is it like to live in a learning community? And I don't know if Megan or Deja, either of y'all lived in oh, well, Deja, you said that you did. What's it like living in one of those residential learning communities, something like a residential college or honors college?
Right. So my first year, I lived in South Spencer, and I used to think that North Spencer and South Spencer were two different buildings, but they're really one. You can walk down the hall to the other one, but essentially they're the same. I don't know if anything has changed, but I know with South Spencer, you can be an honor student and you can also, not be an honor student and live in that building. So that's how me and my me and my roommate, that's how we worked it out. I was an honor student and she wasn't an honor student. But it was really fun. I enjoyed it. A lot of the friends that I have today are the friends that I met in that hall. We all ended up being involved in the same organizations and had the same interests. So when they really say that it's a living learning community, that is true. You live with the people that you can also learn with as well.
Very nice. Megan, I don't remember. Were you a part of any residential learning communities or anything?
I wasn't.
Oh, darn. Okay. Well, that's okay. But in my own experience, very much like Deja, a lot of the friends that I made and I'm still in touch with were part of my residential college. I was in Ashby Residential College, and it was a fantastic experience. So look into it and see if that's something that works well for you. I think it is probably something that works well with just about anybody. But take a look. There are limited spaces available, so apply early. Alrighty. Let's see. We've got some questions here, and let's go talk back to Megan and Deja again. We've got some viewers who are wondering, how is the food? Let's be honest here. How is the food?
Well, I personally really enjoy specifically the dining hall food. I think one of my favorite aspects of it is that just about every station or genre of food, you can customize it to whatever your liking is, or your preference, or your eating habits are. So we have also tons of variety. So we'll have a sandwich station. I know we have an Asian bar, a pasta place. And so tons of different variety, but within those varieties, you can adjust, add, take away anything. And I think that's one of my favorite parts. Also, the dessert bar is also the best bar. Just want to say that.
Very nice. How about you, Deja?
Everything that Megan said, pretty much. My favorite station was Chopsticks. I used to go there all the time, freshman, sophomore year. I love Fried Chicken Wednesday, and I love the southern styled area too. That was really good. Just reminded me of home. Um, and even the G8. I don't have any allergies, but I always went to that section because it was really good food.
Danny, are they lying?
No, it's in the dessert's one of my favorites as well. That's why the freshman 15 keeps coming in. But yeah, they're all in good shape, especially Fried Chicken Wednesday. It's well known throughout Greensboro. It's one of our biggest and most popular days.
Definitely, it is. Alrighty, it looks like we are wrapping down with questions. So if any of our viewers out there have any questions, please text us so that way we can answer those for you. One of our questions is there an age restriction on any residence halls? We've got an adult student who's asking that question.
We don't have any age restrictions for students to live in the halls, but we do have one building in Lost on Lee for graduate students, and we also allow students who are over 25 to live in Lost on Lee. It's one of our apartment buildings, so they can look into that option. Usually also upper students who are older than 25, if they're coming in as a new first-time freshman, we kind of work with them as well. But usually if it's under 25, then you have to go into the new, the traditional halls.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Alrighty. What is everyone's favorite place to eat on campus? It could be in the dining hall. It could be just anywhere on campus. I can tell you that the person who's giving me the questions, one of our counselors, his favorite place is Yum Yums. But anyone want to weigh in on your favorite area?
Definitely Fried Chicken Wednesday in the dining hall. It's very popular for a reason.
Definitely, yes.
I really liked, or I do like the Chick-fil-A. When we got that, the full service one, especially because I remember the first year it was like an express line, so you didn't have the whole entire menu, but that is my favorite spot.
Very nice. Alrighty, let's hear maybe one more.
I think my favorite is Chick-fil-A. Definitely. I probably eat that every other day. Yikes, but I love Chick-fil-A. And also the sandwich station, the McIver Deli station, and the Foundry Dining Hall is my favorite as well.
Alrighty, very nice. Let's see. Alrighty, so I do want to get just a little bit of a clarification, and maybe Deja or anyone in housing could answer this. What is the difference between a living and learning community and a residential college? Are there many differences?
So there certainly can be. Residential college programs tend to be a little bit more focused on specific academic courses, or at least courses that are open to students in those programs, whereas living and learning programs may not be. We have a program called Spartan Wellness for students who are interested in physical, mental, spiritual wellness to come together that way. We have a program called the Make a Difference House for students interested in community service and service learning. And while there may be a class offered to students that want to kind of, have that curricular component in addition to the co-curricular component, when you start looking at a residential college, you'll see a lot more classes that are offered and required for students to be a part of those. Not always, and certainly depending on what year of the program you're in, but that tends to be the biggest difference.
Alrighty, thank you so much for that clarification. Yeah, being part of a residential college, there's definitely specific classes that you would have to take within that residence hall, and then Make a Difference House, I know, is just very overall good wellness. All right, let's see if we have any other questions. I have a question about the dining hall. All right, viewer, good job. If you do not want to eat in the dining hall, are there takeout options?
That's a great question. So this year we introduced a program called Out of Here. And so Out of Here is the ability for a student to come in, use their meal swipe, come through our front main part of the dining program, where you'll be able to get a hot entree, a salad, sandwich, chips, a bottled beverage, or a bubbly beverage, and to be able to take it and to go. So just in case you don't have time to sit on sit in the dining hall, or just not feeling comfortable, you can actually take that to go. In that space, we also have you can either get a regular to-go container, or you can get our OZ container. Our OZ container is a reusable container that you purchase for a $7 deposit, and then we actually give you the money back at the end of the semester. So you really don't pay for anything, but it allows you to be able to be sustainable. So as you're coming in, you can put your food into it, you bring it back, put it in the OZ container, it gives you a token, and then you just use that token the next time you go when you swipe to get in, and they'll just give you another box. So that's been a new program for this year, and it's been very successful, and we will have that moving forward as it's been very successful.
Nice to know. That was not there when I was a student, and I always had friends who were sneaking in Tupperware in their book bags, and I was like, y'all, just be smart. Anywho, I do have another housing, or rather dining question. Do you have to be a student to eat in the dining hall?
No, we are open up to the public. So if you want to come in and pay the door rate, you're more than welcome to come in. It's a very affordable rate for everything that you get. It's a lot of food, a lot of great concepts to go in there. So yes, you can be someone from off campus.
Very nice. I know we always encourage our tour guests whenever they are here on campus to go eat in the dining hall, because you get to experience what it's really like to eat and to live here as a student. So it is a really wonderful experience. I miss the salad bar. Some days I will just go into the dining hall and pay the door rate and get into the salad bar. Conveniently, that also happens to usually happen on Fried Chicken Wednesday, so I'm just like, ooh, cornbread. Anywho, one final question that we have got for our viewers today, and that is for our students and also for our housing staff. Are there any activities that happen in the residence hall so that way we get to know each other who live in our buildings? Let's start with our students, and I know, Deja, you're a resident advisor, so tell us, what kind of things do you do in your residence hall?
Yeah, so in the past years, what I would do, we would have something called programs, and this could be residential programs, and also we have other programs where you're taking your residents off campus, or not off campus, on campus to certain events that are happening. So I've done programs that are based on wellness, whether it's like physical, mental, done programs based on just the like awareness of the month, maybe it was drug awareness, or physical health or mental health, any of the sorts. With the resident advisors, there's so many different ideas and things that you can do, and just making sure that you're catering to the residents. Sometimes I would ask my residents, hey, what do y'all want to do this month, or what's on your mind this month, and let's figure out a program that we can work for, everybody.
Alrighty, thank you. Anybody else want to weigh in?
Obviously, things have looked a little different this fall with some of the restrictions we've had about the number of folks we can get in place. But yeah, I think, typically every fall, the first weekend, when students are back, we do a large carnival in the quad, which gets about 1,500 students out there. Obviously, we couldn't do that this fall, so we focused on a lot smaller programs, maybe floor programs, did some virtual programming. Where the main housing office is Ragsdale-Mendenhall. It's one of our first-year halls, and we actually have a program going on tomorrow just dedicated to the 19 students who currently don't have roommates. So to get those folks to know each other a little bit, because it can be different as a first-year student to not have a roommate. I think a lot of folks think, oh, it'd be great to come to college and have my own room. Well, it can be. It's nice to have that space, but it can also be a little bit lonely, that you don't get to see somebody as often. So you'll see a lot of different programming, but we really do try to get students to know each other, come outside their room in a safe, secure, and fun environment.
Good to know. I know I said that was our last question, but one final question, and it's a big one. Is there air conditioning in each room?
There is air conditioning in every residence hall room, yes.
Good. All right. I was that weird roommate who was always really cold, and my actual roommate was normal. But I was just put on a coat. It's fine. Alrighty, friends, that is going to take us to the end of our program today. I am so appreciative that everyone was able to join us today. I do want all of our panelists to just kind of reintroduce themselves, just that way we get to know, once again, who is here with us. Let's go in reverse order from how we did it last time. Let's hear from Deja first.
Hi everyone again, my name is Deja Kenyon, a senior communication studies major from Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm also a Spartan Guide. Thank you for being with us today.
Thanks, Deja. All right, Megan.
So hi again, I am Megan and I'm a current student and a Spartan Guide, and I'm a junior studying finance with a music performance minor, and I'm from Cary, North Carolina, and I'm really glad all of you guys have decided to tune in today.
Wonderful, thank you. Emily, what you got?
I'm Emily Ainsworth. I'm the assistant director. Sorry about that. I'm the assistant director for occupancy management, and thanks for coming.
Hi, puppy. Alrighty, Chris.
Chris Gregory, Assistant Director for Residence Life. We look forward to seeing you on campus, and let us know if you have any questions.
Alrighty, and Danny, take us home.
Danny Dawkins, Resident District Manager here at Spartan Dining. Looking forward to have you come and enjoy some great food. And we look forward to giving you that freshman 15 or 20 or 25, whatever it is. So we look forward to having you.
Alrighty, everyone. Thank you again so much for being with us today. If you have any final questions, always feel free to text us. You can leave a comment in the comments down below, and we will be sure to answer your questions there. Thanks for joining us. We will be back again tomorrow. We are going to be going live at 4 o'clock with our College of Visual and Performing Arts. So I hope you are able to join us if you are interested in any of the majors within the College of Visual and Performing Arts. We'll see y'all later and talk to you then. Bye.